Welcome to Face the Facts. We are here for a special episode here this evening, celebrating the 2014-15 state championship from the RMHS girls hockey team. Joining me to my left, first of all, is Chris Millett, and he's been with us many times before on all of our programs. How are you, Chris?
I'm great. How are you, Nick?
We also must introduce some of the members of the state championship team. So to Chris's left,
We have Allie O'Leary.
Yep.
Tori Grimmer, and Ashley Tango.
thank you for joining us.
No problem.
So I'm going to turn it over to Chris because Chris had a wonderful array of questions that he'd like to ask to start off. And Chris, it's all yours.
Congratulations on the state championship, guys. It's a great season. Obviously, last year's not the result you want, losing to kind of your in-town rival of Austin Prep. How is it this year coming back and beating them in the semifinals and shutting them out?
It definitely feels good to beat a team from the same town as you and get revenge from last year.
Payback's always nice.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, it's kind of almost like now you're the queens of Reading now. If you want to say it that way.
Top dog, yeah.
Well, bragging rights goes a long way, especially in Reading. So,
How is it like at the beginning of the season? Did you guys set kind of goals for the season? Was the goal to go to the tournament and do well, or how far in advance do you guys like plan this season?
that's a good question, Chris.
Well, we had a goal, 4 more was kind of our saying. Last year, since we got knocked out in the first round, we wanted to make those 4 more games and make it to the championship game. So that was our basic goal.
Yeah.
I think it's important for any team, no matter if you're a high school or college or a professional, if you set a good goal to reach. Obviously, I'm sure you felt like you achieved something that you wanted to do. Looking back on your season, too, there's a lot of different games that you play within the Middlesex League. Is there a specific opponent that really stood out to you that you wanted blood on or you wanted to win no matter what the cost was during the season?
I'd go with Woburn.
Woburn? Okay. I can see that.
We were rivals freshman and sophomore year
Okay.
for me and Allie's class. And it was just really nice to beat them this year, show them out.
What stood out to Woburn more than the other teams? Just because you kind of knew each other the best?
And I think 2 years ago, they just take the league from us.
Yeah. They
So,
won the league 2 years ago.
Yeah, they won
Now
the league.
you wanted it this year. That makes perfect sense from there.
Yeah. So once the goals are set, is it then game by game from there, or is it like how? At what point in the season do you know that this goal we could achieve something? We have something here, and we are gonna get
Like when
there.
something clicks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When was that? When did that click happen throughout the season?
Well, our goal to win the tournament obviously clicked in. It just went game by game because, you have to play that game or else you're out. But I'd say the league was more long term.
Yeah. We make our long-term goals at the beginning of the year and short-term goals, and we usually just go game by game.
And every day working hard at practice to make sure we get those games every week.
There's a good thing about practice. I know a lot of people don't know about how much or how rigorous a practice routine or schedule could be. Is there anything that stood out when you were practicing that really helped you as you look back on the season?
I love Monday practices. We
Okay.
went to Holland. It was kind of a fun atmosphere. And we just kind of laid back and did 3-on-3, so it was nice to kind of get a breather, but still practice.
Kind of get you back in the swing of things from the weekend, too.
Yeah.
You get to
Yeah.
get yourself set,
Definitely.
ready to go.
And I think throughout the season, those kind of relaxed practices, or like I don't know, if fun's the right word. It just keeps it relaxed. It keeps it nice and chill.
And that's a great statement you said, looking forward to on Monday, because maybe some people may look forward to Friday because that's the weekend and it's right around the corner. So that's a really good thing that you can definitely take away from that. Looking at the season before it all started, you said Woburn was your foe, if you want to say. Based on last year, is there any kind of skill or talent that you needed to work better upon to prepare for a successful season? Is there something that stood out the most to you from other opponent?
Well, I know at the beginning of the year, Coach always said he wanted to have 3 strong lines so that we could continuously flow lines and not just play 2 lines, be able to play everybody.
So you wanted depth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that from the depth that you saw that you were able to grow upon?
I think getting goals from each line was what really helped
Yeah.
us out.
Well, I mean, again, I hate to use professional as an example, but when the Bruins won, what was it, 2011?
11.
When they won their Stanley Cup. They won, I thought, because they were very balanced when they had a lot of different goal scorers and different agility and skill on lines. So that makes for a winning combination. Absolutely.
I think we saw that throughout the playoffs too. Like line after line, it was the same pressure. Line after line, it was the same kind of flow. And I think we see with some of the unsuccessful teams, they're only playing one, maybe even two lines. In that first line, they're getting tired.
No, it makes for a struggle.
Yeah.
It makes for a struggle, and you have to work a little bit harder to get to that next level and get to the top. One of the things that's always important from a team standpoint is the leadership, and it starts from the top. So I know you've had Coach Golden for a while. I know he's not coming back for next year, but what a way to go out on top for him, huh? Talk about his importance to what he was able to bring to your team. Why don't we start with Allie?
Well, you can just tell that every day he cares so much about our team, and he always says how much he cares about us, and he's always on top of us to be better, but he's always there to tell us we're doing a good job, so it helps.
I think his attitude definitely helped us. It was a relaxed atmosphere where we're able to make mistakes, and he wouldn't get mad. He'd correct us.
Is that important?
Definitely.
I know there's a lot of coaches, not naming names, but a lot of people get mad, and I think a lot of players, they find it hard to play for that person. So does it make it easier to be able to not know that he's not going to chew my head off?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think he pushes you to the point where he wants you to try out new things, and it's okay to make mistakes as long as you're trying new things.
That's a really good thing to hear.
And I think,
Yeah.
like coming from your senior viewpoint, like he's stuck by your team for the past 4 years. Whether it's
After
a
that.
losing season, whether it's this season, he's always been there. So I think that's an testament to him.
Definitely after that 3-win season, sticking with us sure is a testament.
Well, that's also, talking about that, obviously you have to start from the bottom.
Yeah.
And then you have to get to the top. We're not going to do the song here, but I know, doesn't the football team do that a lot, that song or something?
That's one in their pregame.
You have to go to the back room and ask, oh, yeah, how are you? Yeah. But that's a really good testament to see where you're able to come from. When you're able to get from a bottom spot and raise all the way to the top and get to, a championship level, I think that makes it pretty sweet.
Yeah,
Pretty sweet.
definitely.
Let's talk about the whole playoff run. All right, it really got pretty interesting when the playoffs all started. You started out with, was it Arlington first?
Yes.
Now, when you were going into this game, was there any kind of game plan that you needed to make different from a regular season game?
I wouldn't say so, since
Same plan?
Yeah, we played them 2 times during the regular season, but we were definitely very excited for it because we did not want to lose first round again.
Mentality was to stay loose?
Yeah.
Going into the next game, it was Beverly Danvers. Now, that's kind of interesting that they have 2 towns, which
Yeah.
I think have always been pretty good sport-wise combined together.
Yeah.
Do you see that a lot from other programs around the state, or?
Not usually.
Yeah.
Because if they combine, they don't have a strong enough program to compete individually.
Okay.
Together, it's still not that good.
Did you have any expectations? Had you played Beverly Danvers before?
Yeah, we've played them before. We know they were a good program. They have some really good shooters and good defense, so
Okay.
we knew what we were going to.
Do your game tactics, like, are they different game in, game out? Do you guys like adjust to a certain team, or do you guys just play your game and not worry about how they're gonna play?
I'd say for most games we worry about what we do, but there are certain teams that we need to adjust how we're playing, especially mid-game. If we see something that we want to change, we'll do that.
Also, if a team has a certain strength, we'll probably try to take that away. Like I remember Beverly Danvers had a strong defender who could really shoot the puck, so we kind of took her out of her game.
Then we moved across once again to Austin Prep. We knew them very well. Was there anything that you saw from previous matchups that you wanted to work on and try to kind of know ahead of the game what you needed to do to take care of business?
Against Austin Prep, I say we had to just crash the net as much as possible because they have a really good goaltender.
How hard is that to do that? Crash the net. I'm sure, let's say there's a random viewer. What does crash the net mean? So maybe expand upon what that means.
Just any time that one of our teammates is going to get a shot, you just have to get to the net and get the rebounds.
Very good. So that was the one thing that stood out from Austin Prep that you
Yeah.
needed to get set?
I think we also need to get in their heads early. Definitely get the lead first.
How important was that, getting the lead first?
It was good.
Make your statement.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we had Acton Boxborough. There's another program that, not just in hockey, but they've always been known to have pretty good athletics from both those towns over there. Again, combining Acton Boxborough like Beverly Danvers there. So why don't we start this time with you and ask, what was the game plan going into that?
Well, pretty much you want to just kind of, like I said before, kind of worry about our game plan and then just kind of go from there.
Our biggest asset against them was we had 3 solid lines. They had one,
Line and a half.
line
Yeah.
and a half, I'd say. So outwork them.
How are you guys feeling going into the game? Because I know it was a lot of your first time playing at the Garden. It's 9 o'clock. You got to get up early. You're super excited. And
That's a great question.
yeah, how do you contain yourself?
That adrenaline.
Why am I getting out of bed for this at this time?
Oh, we didn't worry
We
about
didn't
getting
contain
up
it.
early.
No.
We were
Yeah.
just so
Did you
excited.
sleep the night
nerves.
before?
Barely.
Yeah, I don't think I would. Sleep at the Garden on the ice.
Gosh.
But that's a great question that you had there, Chris. So maybe we can talk about
Did
that a little bit more.
Did Coach Golden have any words before the game to kind of settle you guys down? Where you
Have
guys
some
just
Dunkin'
wanted
Donuts.
to get up there?
Yeah. He took the whole team out on the ice before the game, and he just kind of said, like, soak it all in now. You don't want to do it during the game. Focus on the game. You can realize how cool it is right now.
Yeah, he tried to show us that like the ice is the same size as it is at Burbank. It's just bigger around, so you're
More
it's the
stands,
same.
a great
more
point.
It's the same
Yep.
ice.
Yeah, and I think we kind of saw that break after you guys took your team photo, and then the trophy came over to the fans, and you guys were all
Yeah.
What?
wild.
Yep.
So,
Was this your first time on the Garden? Big stage. I don't know what other places that were avenues or you may have played at, but how about for you?
This is my first time.
That was the first time on the
Yeah.
Garden? Yours too?
Yeah. Yep.
I know that from my year when I was in high school, the 2008 team, they got to go on the Garden ice, and a few of them had played before on the Gardens. They were familiar. Sometimes it's hard to play on a surface you haven't played on before. So that sometimes can be a challenge. And some of them did get a chance to, but a lot of them, like you said, that was one once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. When the whole trophy and the whole ceremony and the whole production was put together, did it seem real?
Not at
No.
all.
So
We went in
unreal.
the locker room, and we were just jumping up and down, taking pictures, but it's still
Pretty
went by
unexplainable.
Like this.
Yeah.
It was unreal.
After all said and done, you finished with a 21-2 record. Is that correct?
22.
22-2. 22-2 record, which is outstanding there. But it all kind of started right after there with the whole end game, because then you went on this wonderful championship tour where you got to get all kinds of special treatment, which I'm sure, yes, I'm still jealous about it because that was pretty exciting. They got to go on one of the games during the season for the Bruins, which I thought was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
You watch on TV, oh, the Reading girls hockey team, here they are. I'm like, what? What? Let's talk about that. I mean, you got to meet Jack Edwards, Andy Brickley, Dale Arnold. I think it was Billy Jaffe who was there, and a couple of them. So talk about that whole experience.
Yeah, well, I said that was probably the second best day of my life behind winning the championship. It was
Yep.
just so cool being there.
It was a little starstruck, but then they were there to celebrate us. It was even more.
Yeah, it was an awesome experience just being with your team and just being celebrated for winning.
Now, I've always wanted to know this question because obviously I'm very
I think we got
interested
the same question.
in the media aspect and stuff.
Yeah.
What's it like with having this world-class, we're little people here. We're in a little shoebox hole here, and we have lovely people in the back to make this all happen. But talk about that whole thing. How was that?
I mean, there were just cameras everywhere.
Everywhere?
So, yeah,
Yep.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
How was, because I've never got a chance to meet the psycho, Jack Edwards, before, but talk about how he was.
Oh, he was really nice. He
Was
let
it-
us
he
all,
is. He seems very nice.
yeah, he let us all try on his ring, and
Yeah.
Oh, you got to do that.
yeah,
Okay.
he,
You didn't
every
steal it.
he let
Okay.
every single person try it on, which was really nice of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It must have felt good.
Yeah.
Just to put on a
Right.
Stanley Cup ring. And then obviously the State House just like 2 weeks ago, or was it last week? I'm not
Oh,
sure.
please! You go from the Bruins to the
Well-
State House. That's nothing. Come on. No, go ahead.
Well, the State House and all that tour, and you guys were welcomed there. What was it like to go there?
It was pretty cool. We got like announced in front of the House of Representatives, and they all clapped for us. So it's exciting.
Yeah, again, it was just starstruck to be announced and celebrated.
Now, we've heard about the Bruins and we've heard about the State House experience there, but are there any other things that you got to do that maybe other people didn't really know about?
When
well,
we
we-
got back to our rink, there was like a buffet for us. And
Okay.
We hung out in the locker room with
You
the
got a
trophy.
police escort back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that must have been cool.
We had this big banner hung up from kind of the rink manager.
Okay.
He did a lot. It was a nice surprise when we got back home.
I got to, when the football team, I don't know if you remembered this, we did our production when the football team won their Super Bowl at Gillette. It was all snowy and everything.
Yeah.
And then at the time, one of my friends had the sunroof in the car, so I stuck the camera out from the whole escort and did the whole thing. That was pretty fun. But those are things that you're never going to forget. You're always going to remember something pretty special like that. And that's great to hear about what they did down at Burbank, because that's very deserving, and I'm sure that you all enjoyed all of that wonderful things they did for that too.
I want to take a step back just to the season, and just you guys pulled huge crowds, especially throughout the playoffs. What does that do for you guys? Does that give you an extra boost? Does that make you want to play that much better?
Sure, the
What is
school's
that?
happy.
Yeah,
Our
the school's
super
hold there.
fans made our games so much
Yeah.
more exciting. Like the adrenaline, they just brought the energy with them, and that helped us on the ice.
I have a certain memory of whenever somebody says super fans, I think about it. When there was we had a clock in the locker room at the Garden, and there was about 5 minutes left, and we all just kind of died down. And you could just hear them starting the 1, 8, 6, 7 cheer. That was awesome.
Can you hear the fans when you're on the ice? Really can't.
Not really.
I've asked this question before from others, from a hockey team or other teams. It's blocked out, isn't it? It's amazing when they say it, because a casual person may be shocked when you hear it, but it's true. You can't really hear anybody, because I think you're so focused in the moment on trying to get out and play the best you can.
I think even some of the super fans.
Sometimes it's good
Or-
not to hear the chants, but
Yeah. I know there's a winter solstice chant.
Oh,
that we
is
were
there?
chanting at the championship. But I think almost
quiet in the back.
the super fans are there to ruin the other team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fan
definitely.
section.
Yeah.
I mean, at the AP game, they
I
pulled
think
five
that's
kids.
part of the fun thing, though, when you
Yeah.
go back and forth with the fans and everything. I can't say certain things on the air because it wouldn't be nice, but some people are very creative with what they can come up with chants. They are.
Definitely.
Maybe even some of them in the back room started, but I'm just saying.
What's the deal now? Now that the season's over, we're into the spring season. Hockey is.
They're taking the year off, right?
Yeah. As you approach the preseason into the summer, into the fall, what's the mindset? Is obviously a repeat would be nice, but how do you approach a season coming off a championship?
I don't even know how to answer that one. I guess we set the bar so high, and I guess we're excited to raise the banner all together again. But definitely to try and fill the shoes that we left.
Yeah, I know your class is very talented, and the senior captains, and you guys played a pivotal role in this season. So definitely filling the shoes, I think, is going to be a big, maybe one on the priority list.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
Will the plan that you use, let's look back at maybe last year's off season, is it the same kind of plan? You have to get ready by, getting yourself set, that sort of thing? Nothing changes, right? Well, maybe it does. I don't know.
There's a lot of changes.
There are changes,
We
okay.
also don't know our coach yet.
Okay.
Right,
So
that's
it's
obviously
hard.
a big X
Yeah,
factor.
it's hard.
I'm talking more from that physical standpoint, athletic-wise.
Oh.
Would something like that change at all? No.
No.
Well, that's a good. Now I know from other changes, yes, there are certain things that obviously will change from there. So that's something that will definitely have to be something to think about.
Yeah.
Is it gonna be? Is it weird not knowing who your coach is gonna be next year? Or is it?
Definitely. Still like texting my old coach.
Yeah.
Hey, coach.
I mean, how is that kind of? Are you worried about that? Obviously, they're gonna fill his shoes because they've got huge shoes to fill. But is that a concern?
Be a
for
lot
you
of
at all?
pressure for the next person
Yeah.
coming in too.
Yeah.
Is that concerning or?
Yeah, it's definitely concerning. We don't know. We have to adjust to who this new person is and their coaching style. It goes from comfortable to a stranger, so that'll
Right.
definitely be hard.
That's a great point.
I'm sure they'll be able to, kind of keep that close-knit family kind of vibe that we
Right.
had this year and kind of carry it over next year, no matter who's the coach.
But it is true that the family kind of is broken up a little bit. I mean, even looking at the Red Sox from 2013's championship, most of that was broken up.
And we know that the team chemistry and is almost starts from the top. He's gonna the coach sets the mood at practice. He sets the mood of how things flow. So I think having a question mark at the top is definitely concerning.
Now, another thing you also have to look at too is that when you think about your future, you also have to think about the best place where you could think that maybe when I go to college, another team needs to look at me or something like that. And that's for you. I don't blame you in your decision at all. And I'm not trying to take it away from you or your teammates, but I think you made a good decision. I do.
Thank you.
Talk about that experience. Are you excited about it?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it to see what my future holds there, and yeah, I think it'll be a good experience.
I look at it from, obviously I've been in Reading for a while, and I know that a lot of the athletes that stand out at the school sometimes don't make it to that next level because we are inside Massachusetts. We are inside Reading, excuse me, and we're not, the private school where the best of the best sometimes are. Back when the championship from 2008 was there, that was one of the best hockey teams for the boys that were there. Most of those people, they went to private schools or they stuck with it and they didn't make it to the Bruins or they didn't make it to that next level. So it opens your eyes, at least I think, from a bigger standpoint to really get more eyes to take a look at you. That's just what I've been able to look at from that sort of example. So again, what's your team you're going to be with again?
The Boston Shamrocks.
Boston Shamrocks, who have a very good name for themselves as well. So that should be very exciting. Now, for other teammates, how do you feel about it?
Well, we're definitely.
You want to like punch her out right now? Like, why the heck are you going? No.
No, I completely understand why, and we're just gonna miss her. But I'm excited for her to see. I hope she gets her game to the next level, but it's more of a personal issue why I'll miss her. But
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
I couldn't be
Friends.
happier for Allie. Like, as a incoming, I'm going to be playing a sport in college too. I know how hard it is to try and get yourself out there, get coaches seeing you. So I think it was a really smart move, and it will definitely be worthwhile.
Tough decision, right?
While we're on
Yeah,
that topic,
definitely.
how early in your high school career did that exchange with college coaches start for you?
Well, for me, I started freshman year, kind of going to recruiting camps and traveling, trying to be seen, and then kind of as doing the same things the past 3 years, and finally got recruited.
Do you find it was a bit difficult coming from a public school, or not necessarily?
It's not as difficult probably more for hockey, but I was going more for softball, which my travel team in the summer was kind of my outlet of recruiting. So branching out of the public school definitely helped.
We've seen that before, like you said, with it almost seems like the private schools. I think of the St. John's and how so often those are the kids who are getting the scholarships and recruited. It
is, and I have to say it sometimes isn't fair. It really isn't, because sometimes there are more talented players who do play for the public school versus the private, but the private school has more recognition and name, and they're going to look at those players, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's the name of the game with it. So sometimes you do have to make that tough decision and go to a school where maybe you really don't want to. You want to stay at the place that you've been successful with, but you got to think about your future. I don't think I could have said it Better? I don't know. Did I say it good?
It was good, Nick. It
Okay,
was
thank
good.
you.
Good
Thank
job.
you. I get a point? Okay. Before we wrap it up here, just going to keep it casual and stuff like that. We want to go around and ask, you do play ice hockey for girls, but maybe you have another sport that you're also good at and also play as well. So, Allie, let's lead it off with you. You don't just play hockey, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, along with them too, I play
Okay.
softball for
Okay.
the high school. Yeah.
And how's that going?
Good. We're
Good.
8-3, right?
9.
9-3. Yeah.
Had a game.
No shot at baseball, but that's better than them. So go.
Yeah, same with them. I play softball.
Okay. And that's been going well. Coach, I know her.
Jill McElroy.
Yes, she's been there for a long time.
Yes,
long time. Is it easy to buy into her system? You get along with her well and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a good coach. She
I
knows
hesitated a little bit. Like that.
No, she knows what she's talking about. It sometimes gives a little tough love, but it's what we need.
Her and Coach
I don't think I
Golden
could have
are-
said it better. Tough love. That's a good answer there. Not Mim-like, right?
No.
Okay.
She definitely pushes us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you're softball too, correct?
Softball and field hockey. Yep.
Yeah. Very good. Favorite sports team?
Bruins.
Bruins?
Yep.
Bruins.
You gonna throw a curveball at us?
Yeah, probably Bruins.
Bruins. How about for girls' professional sports? I mean, that's something that also would stand out. Do you have a specific, maybe a hero or somebody that's your role model that you look up to for the things that you do?
Well, I always liked watching Olympic hockey, and Hillary Knight has always been someone that I looked up to.
Okay. Yeah.
Alex Carpenter. I always looked up to her.
Now, somebody may not know who Alex Carpenter is, so tell them
She
who
is
she
on
is. There you go.
the Olympic team along with Hillary Knight.
Okay. Very good.
I've always kind of looked up to, I don't know, she's a Reading girl, Jen Abrams.
Okay.
She's a great athlete.
She was in my grade, yep.
Oh, yeah, and
Yep.
she went on, played at Providence for softball, and I just always looked up to her when I was
I think
little.
she's coaching now at Providence.
She coaches
Or-
at Seton Hall now.
Seton Hall, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw a picture of her recently that showed that she was coaching and stuff.
Yeah.
Jen was always the type of player that was better than the boys. So yeah, we sometimes didn't like that when we were playing. But yeah, she's very talented, very talented. Any other questions that you want to go? We got a couple minutes. Keep it formal or informal like we are.
I mean, what's it like to? I mean, coming to school on that Monday, a little
Wow.
chip on your shoulder. I was just kind of like,
It just felt surreal.
Go up to the football coaches. Hey, look what we got.
but how'd that feel? It's just cool to be kind of
I mean-
like idolized for that.
Yeah, you
moment
feel
and
kind
still.
of like famous for a little bit.
Basically, you are famous.
Oh, you're looking at me? Oh,
looking
do you
at
think
you.
I have another question? Maybe I do. Actually, we don't because we actually have run out of time, but we do want to thank the girls for joining us here tonight. I thought that was pretty exciting to be able to hear about their season and to hear a little bit more about them in general, just on how the championship has gone, and also looking forward to the future with what is in store for Reading hockey and beyond. So, for myself, Nick Face,
Christopher Millett.
Allie O'Leary.
Tori Grimmer.
Ashley Pango.
we want to thank you for joining us here tonight. Join us next time for another episode of Face the Facts. Good night.